Alright, hey guys, remember CCG back in the video. With this video, I'm bringing you guys some Mimighoul combos, and this is post Rage of the Abyss. If you guys want to see the deck profile that I'm going to be using for these combos, it's going to be in the top right corner. But otherwise, let's get started here with a 1-card combo using Mimighoul Maker. So we're going to activate Maker here, use the effect. We're going to use the effect here in order to get Dragon or Archfiend. I'm going to show in a later combo that it doesn't matter which one you get, but for now, their opponent's going to get Dragon, we're going to get the Archfiend. We're going to activate Archfiend's effect, flip the dragon will then pop the opponent's board, the opponent doesn't have anything, so it'll just come to us. We'll exceed into the Mimighoul Throne. Then we can activate Throne's effect here in order to get ourselves a Mimighoul Master, and this is a nice thing about Throne, is that now we just have a really consistent way of going into Master. Then we can activate Mimighoul Master's effect, search ourselves a Mimighoul Dragon. Then we can normal summon the dragon, activate its effect in order to get ourselves the Mimighoul Dungeon. Activate Dungeon's effect here. Use the effect in order to get ourselves a Mimighoul Fairy. So this is the only Mimighoul monster that's actually able to special summon itself out. So that's always nice to see. We're going to be using that effect here. Get it out on the board. Then we're going to exceed into the Giant Mimighoul. Activate Giant Mimighoul's effect in order to search out the Mimighoul room. We're going to set it. And this is going to be our end board here. You can see that our monster's got the attack or boost here by gaining the defense because of the field spell. Our opponent is not able to... as long as they control face-on monster, they cannot normal summon. So that's always good to see. We're going to be doing that with the Mimighoul room here. And then, of course, we're going to be able to flip something using Mimighoul Master. So first, we're going to be using room. You could always choose to just wait a little bit, because then if your opponent tries to normal summon something, you could just use room here to give our opponent a face-on monster. And then we can flip it, flip whatever they put down on the board face down. The only downside with that is that obviously you're allowing them to do their normal summon, and so they can trigger an effect. But the nice thing is that after we flip this Mimighoul, whatever we put on the board, then Dungeon will still stay active. Of course, that's not super relevant after they use their normal summon, but if they have a way to just utilize multiple normal summons, then that could be relevant. But besides that, we're going to give our opponent the Fairy here. You can choose what you want. My typical ones that I like to go for are Fairy, the Dragon for the board wipe, or the Archfiend, as it's going to rip a card out of your opponent's hand. But besides that, we're going to activate Master's effect. So here, the Maker, we're just going to do the same combo on the other side. So we're going to see Fairy go off, then Archfiend, and then we're going to use our Mimighoul Throne here in order to attach itself to Master and return a card back to the hand. So we're going to be doing exactly that, just to bounce back the Mimighoul monster, the Mimighoul Dragon here that would have wiped our board, and thus invalidating Mimighoul Archfiend's target. And then we're going to get ourselves the Mimighoul Fairy, and now for our opponent, this turn our opponent cannot activate the effects of monster special summon from the hand. So we're going to get ourselves the Dragon once again. It's not going to be able to do anything. And besides that, you can see that the Master gets a crazy buff. And you get a pretty extensive board. And we do still have Maker in the grave as well that you can play with. But otherwise, let's go to the next combo. Alright guys, before I get started with the second combo, if you're enjoying the video, consider becoming a patron. For just $5 a month, you can get access to my Discord. And I can write some deck building advice. There's more tiers to influence the content I make. So make sure to check out the Patreon in the description down below if you are interested. Otherwise, you can always support by liking, commenting, subscribing, and all that. But besides that, we have ourselves our Mimighoul Maker, and I'm going to be showing you guys the other outcome. So we're going to activate Maker's effect, give our opponent the Archfiend, and we get the Dragon. Obviously, it's random, so we don't get to choose here, but this is just showing you the other scenario. Then we're going to activate Dragon's effect to get ourselves the Mimighoul Dungeon. Activate Dungeon, use the effect here, in order to get ourselves another copy of Archfiend, and now we can just use Archfiend's effect, flip the Archfiend. So our opponent will get to discard a card, and we'll get to add a card back to our hand, and we get ourselves an Archfiend, which is perfect because then we can use that as a exceed material for later on. Then we can go into Mimighoul Throne, use the effect here in order to get Mimighoul Master. Unfortunately, I drew it, but the nice thing about Master is that you can get it from the hand, deck, or grave, so a lot of flexibility, but I would have had a +1 from the Archfiend. Then we can use Master's effect, search out our Fairy. Activate Fairy's effect to get it out. Then we can go into our Giant Mimighoul, which is going to let us search out a card. We usually just want to search out the Mimighoul room. It's just very consistent and great, as you saw in the previous combo. And this is the end board that we have here. So you can see it's very similar to what we had with the previous combo. The only difference is that we are able to make our opponent discard a card, and we got to draw a card here, which is extremely powerful, and it gives you a lot of value. So then we're going to with our opponent here, they only have one card, so they're going to get out the Master that they got. Then we're going to use Mimighoul Room here, special summon Mimighoul Dragon onto their side of the board. Then we can use Room here in order to flip the master. So they're going to try to put Dragon on our board. That's fine. And here I'm showing you that you can use Mimighoul Maker. If your opponent attempts to special summon something, you can use it here, banish it from the graveyard, then target one face-down monster your opponent controls, and flip it to face-up position. That's exactly what I'm going to do. If they had any other face-up cards, it would have gotten destroyed. Of course, we had Mimighoul Master there. That would have been a form of flipping it as well. So that's always good to see. You do have possible different ways of doing it here. We have Master, and then we have the Mimighoul Dungeon that prevented them from normal summoning. So that's always good to see. We have the Mimighoul Throne here that's actually able to bounce something on the board as well. But otherwise, let's go to the final combo that I have for you guys. Alright guys, so the final combo that I have for you is using Mimighoul Dragon, and you can see just how strong Mimighoul Dragon is, as you saw in the previous two combos, and with this combo as well. We're going to normal summon our Dragon here, activate its effect, get ourselves our Dungeon, activate Dungeon's effect, get ourselves a Mimighoul Fairy, get it out onto the board by special summoning itself. Then we can exceed into Giant Mimighoul, activate Giant Mimighoul's effect, get ourselves a Mimighoul Maker. Then we can use Mimighoul's Faker's effect, get our opponent a Slime, and get ourselves an Archfiend. Activate Archfiend's effect, flip the Slime. Then we can special summon out whatever Mimighoul monster we want. You can see in this video I'm using Mimighoul Armor. Even though I don't run it in the deck, I just wanted to get it out here so it has a little time to shine here. Just because I'm assuming that nobody's going to be running this card. We're going to go into Mimighoul Throne, use the effect here in order to go into the Mimighoul Master. Then we can activate Mimighoul Master's effect, get ourselves an Archfiend. Link away into IP Masquerena. Then we can use Mimighoul Archfiend's effect, get it out onto our opponent's side of the board. That gives us something to flip because we don't have access to the Mimighoul Room. Then our opponent's going to attempt to give us something. We're going to use Mimighoul Master's effect before that in order to flip Mimighoul Archfiend here. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to flip it, make our opponent discard one, draw a card. In this instance, we happen to draw a hand trap, which is great because it'll enable more combos, but obviously it's not consistent that you're going to get that. But if it does, then that's nice. Then if you need to, you can go into your SP Little Knight and banish whatever you'd like. And of course, we do have Mimighoul Throne here that's going to be able to bounce something if you choose to. And then we have Mimighoul Dungeon that prevented our opponent from normal summoning. You just have to be careful when you flip this card, the Archfiend, up, because then it's going to nullify this effect and they're going to be able to normal summon after that. But besides that, it's a pretty powerful end board just with one card. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for other combos and other deck profiles for Rage of the Abyss. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.